A Hamas misfire, how many people killed at a hospital, and they went so fast to blame Israel, and the rest of the world listened to them and listened to their propaganda. Nobody is concerned to check what is true and what is false. Whatever that serve our political and short-term interest, we go for it. Suicidal, not knowing that we are going against evolution. We are going against the collective consciousness of humanity.
The children, we're all talking about the children, the babies, what's happening in Gaza. The narrative that has been sold to the world is a fake and false narrative. Let's listen to the son of one of the founders of Hamas, Mr. Yusuf Mossab, as he is talking about who caused the deaths of the children in Gaza. And this is coming from the son of one of the founders of Hamas. Let's listen to it together and we'll talk about it afterwards. Kindly subscribe to our channel so a little bit of light will push away a lot of darkness.
This crime cannot be forgiven. None of us should forgive this crime. Gambling with children's blood for political gain, it doesn't get worse than this. So Israel now got stained by blood. This is what Hamas wanted to happen from day one. They wanted to sacrifice thousands of children so Israel can take the blame. Digging tunnels and bunkers under hospitals, schools, launching missiles. A Hamas misfire, how many people killed at a hospital, and they went so fast to blame Israel, and the rest of the world listened to them and listened to their propaganda. Nobody is concerned to check what is true and what is false. Whatever that serve our political and short-term interest, we go for it. Suicidal, not knowing that we are going against evolution. We are going against the collective consciousness of humanity. We're going against the interest of children, the defenseless children who has no one to speak on their behalf. They don't have the power to discern. And yes, they are dying. But who's causing all this death? Blame is the cheap way. It's the way of the coward. Those who have the courage, take responsibility. They don't blame. If Hamas is not defeated, if Hamas is not eradicated in Gaza, we will set the model. We will give the freedom to so many radical groups around the world. And this is just a warning. If you really care for the global security, and I speak as a person who was part of the counterterrorism effort against radical Islamists, if Hamas is not defeated in Gaza, it will inspire many groups around the globe. They will see that few thousands of savages can blackmail the international community, the superpowers, and bring democracies to their knees. Many of them are watching now, and many of them are very happy about how the world is responding. And many of them are satisfied to see the state of confusion and fear and anxiety. This is the time to get united. Because if Israel fails in Gaza, all of us, we will be next.
And what he's saying is so spot on. This is just a test run. What happened in Gaza, this was just the beginning of a much larger operation against the West and against the democracies that are out there. This is for world stage. As this war has been executed since October 7, one can see the premeditation, the planning, that it wasn't about saving the Palestinians. It wasn't about the plight of the 2 million Gazans that are in Gaza. This is more of a test run. How are we going to spread this jihad throughout the world? How are we going to bring democracies to their knees? How are we going to blackmail the world? So what happened on October 7 was the very first test run. The 1,200 sacrifices of the innocent civilians who did nothing wrong other by living and existing in the borders of Israel. And they were from all nationalities. There weren't just Jews and Israelis who were murdered and killed, mutilated, raped, beheaded, burnt, kidnapped. They just took anyone indiscriminately. This was just a test run as they were planning to move on and to annihilate Israel. For those of us who are able to read what happened that day, their original plan was not just going to be Gaza. Their plans were to march all the way to Tel Aviv, to Jerusalem. They were supposed to have been a coordinated attack from the north, from Lebanon, from the south, from Gaza, and the Houthis and Iran. This was supposed to be a whole coordinated effort to annihilate Israel. This was their plan. And it wasn't just Israel that they were going after. They were going after anyone who doesn't believe the way they believe. Anyone who is an infidel, who's standing in their way of the caliphate to take over the world. So this isn't just some conspiracy theory. This is facts on the ground. And this is something which the world needs to wake up to. And the Prime Minister of Israel, Mr. Bibi Netanyahu, has repeated it many times, saying what's happening now, if we don't stop them now, they're going to show up in the neighborhood near you. And we see what's happening throughout the world already. This is a moment in history that either Israel fights the world's war and puts out this raging, burning fire of hate in totality, or this fire will continue to consume and burn others. When there is a house on fire and we go to extinguish the fire, we don't extinguish just 50% of the fire or 75% of the fire or even 90% of the fire. If we leave the fire aflame, even some burning embers, it is going to flare up and burn the house down in totality. So this operation that has dragged on way too long, over 2 years already, needs to end, and needs to end now. And the world needs to be able to discern and know the difference between light and darkness, and know the difference between good and evil. The world has been able to witness and see that the Hamas have zero interest in the Gazans. They use them as pawns. And this has been proven time and time again, where they would set up their base of operations on the kindergartens, and the hospitals, in schools and mosques. They dressed in civilian clothes, just so that when Israel comes, they should not know the difference between friend and foe. to kill as many civilians as possible. They wanted Israel to be able to kill as many civilian collateral damage so that they could show the world, look what Israel is doing. But this was their ploy. This was their plan to try to paint Israel. Israel, who is the victim. Israel, who on October 7 was living the only democracy in the Middle East. It was a house to not just 9 million people, but 2 million of them are Arabs. Israel has been fortifying its borders to protect its civilians from savages, barbarians such as Hamas. Sadly, on October 7, they breached the border and successfully murdered, mutilated, raped, burnt, beheaded, and kidnapped innocent civilians. In all of Israel's wars, I challenge you to find one instance where Israel targeted civilians. As a matter of fact, as pointed out by the great general at West Point, the way Israel has prosecuted this war, it's unprecedented. Where a country who has been attacked would go after its enemy and yet provide it with water and electricity, provide it with food, provide it with millions of tons of food to the tune of 3,000 calories a day per person. And yet the world finds a way to condemn Israel and to side with the bloodthirsty death cult Hamas terrorists. How absurd that is. Obviously, the undertone of anti-Semitism seems to be open day. Anyone could just decide to hate Israel and hate the Jewish people for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Baseless hatred. When in fact, if you just step back and you look at the 77 years of what Israel has provided the world and humanity with over the last 77 years, think about what Israel has contributed to humanity. I challenge you to compare what Israel has brought to the world stage compared to all the Arab states together. Just look at the sheer numbers of Nobel Prize winners. How many Nobel Prize winners came out of Israel compared to the rest of the Arab countries? Israel has a mandate to be a light unto the nations, and it has proven it, it has done it under the worst of circumstances. Israel is and will always be there for the world. It's time that the world is there for Israel. God bless you. God loves you.